Aloha and welcome to the Fall 2021 edition of UHMTV, a TV news magazine show written, hosted, and produced by journalism students at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm Charleston, Cazimero.
And I'm Clair Johnson-King. Mahalo for joining us from our College of Social Sciences digital studios. Coming up in this episode,
find out how UH plans to enforce mandatory vaccinations for all students and workers.
Learn quick tips to manage your mental health during this pandemic.
And why these servers are catching waves during class time.
Plus, meet an award-winning journalist and TV producer who happens to be a proud UH alum.
Stay with us for this edition of UHMTV.
A recent UH mandate requiring all students and employees to be vaccinated by January 2022 is making way for more in-person classes next semester.
And those claiming medical or religious exemptions must show proof of a negative COVID test before coming to campus. At-home COVID tests are acceptable in Honolulu's Safe Access program. All you need is a photo showing the negative results, and you'll be able to get into most restaurants and bars. But to get on UH campus, that's not the case.
The at-home test is not accepted as part of the testing program at UH right now. It could be a much higher rate of failure because of the individual and not knowing if that person is doing it correctly or not.
At-home tests are very simple and fast. Just swab and place the testing strip into the solution tube. Results will be ready in 10 minutes. Although at-home tests are not accepted by the school, students can still use them for many activities outside of UH. And medical professionals believe that these tests can help in Hawaii's fight against COVID.
It'll help mitigate the spread of COVID. Just get tested at home. You know, the ease and convenience of just being tested in your own home, it's safe, and just keeps everyone from going out and spreading the virus.
While at-home tests may be fast and convenient, it's hard to prevent fraud. UH is doing its best to make it easy for students and employees to access any of the 24 clinical labs across the state. And it's free. For UHMTV, I'm Charleston Cazimero.
Recent studies show college students across the country are struggling the most with mental health issues during this pandemic.
And while UH offers free counseling for students and workers, there just aren't enough psychologists on staff to accommodate the growing call for help. L'Oreal Walls-Jamie has more.
Mental health disorders among college students have spiked dramatically since the start of the pandemic. According to the American College Health Association, the pressure to perform academically during these unprecedented times is causing major stress among students and an increase in college dropouts.
This whole experience has been draining. Not having as much people on campus or interaction with other people. I'm just in my room all the time. I go to the library, do my homework, then I go back to my room, and it's just this constant thing that happens over and over, and that can be really draining.
Universities recommend having at least one mental health professional for every 1,500 students on campus, but UH Manoa is currently not meeting that ratio and hasn't for a long time. The Counseling and Student Development Center has aimed to assist students during the fall 2021 semester. Although this program has become free of cost for students, the high demand for counseling has resulted in longer waiting periods for some.
The legislature kind of needed to save money. I think that we had some state money issues for the university. Any positions that were not filled at the time were swept and abolished. And for us, we had a turnover of 2 of our part-time psychiatrists and 2 psychologists just around that time. We lost the 4 positions, and that was about a third of the clinical team right there.
Single and group therapy sessions are currently available online. However, students in crisis may just try walking in weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the QLC Center. For UHMTV, I'm L'Oreal Walls-Jamie.
Thanks, L'Oreal. What if students are experiencing mental health emergencies?
The state of Hawaii also offers free support services at hawaiicares.gov. But if you or someone you know is in an emotional crisis, please call the 24-hour hotline at the number below.
The UH College of Social Sciences is now offering a new certificate program in queer studies.
It's just one of the many ways our campus is including the LGBTQ community. Hakui Nā Kololani Chalk reports.
For the first time this fall, the Queer Studies Certificate is being offered through the College of Social Sciences. The 15-credit program helps students broaden their social justice views on assigned gender roles, sexual orientation, and LGBTQ rights.
I think everyone should be broadening their horizon beyond just what they have been taught growing up. You can then critically think about the way things are working and change them for the better.
According to the U.S. Transgender Survey, 59% say they avoid public restrooms for fear of confrontations. UH is trying to address some of these issues by offering safe zone training every month.
Yes, I do feel safe on campus. I think part of that has to do, though, I am a white person and I am perceived as cisgender, so there's a bit of privilege that comes with that.
UH executive policy actually follows state laws banning discrimination in public facilities. That's why UH offers at least 10 all-gender restrooms on campus, including 2 here at the QLC building. If you're searching for inclusive facilities, just look for these symbols indicating a safe and supportive environment.
A lot of our students moved to family situations which were less supportive, where they had to be a little bit more closeted in their interactions. I cannot wait until our lounges reopen again and people are in here laughing and eating and hugging. That I can't wait for.
While more could be done, Bogue says having the LGBTQ Center is a great start.
Working to get people's pronouns respected and having all gender restrooms and changing rooms, and I think that's great work that we should be doing more of as well.
Students who want to change their preferred names can do so online at the UH Registrar's website. For UHMTV, I'm Hakui Nakololani Chalk.
When we come back, how to support local farms during the pandemic.
And how students feel about their food options on campus. Don't go away.
College of Social Sciences is great. I feel like you can learn a lot here. I really want to make a social change.
I got to know people from other cultures, and their story has made my story, kind of relevant.
The college has a lot of great programs to offer and has essentially given me the start to my career.
College of Social Sciences provides this opportunity for students to take learning outside the classroom.
You get to experience the culture, the people, the diversity, and really gain a better understanding of this world we live in.
When I've been on the ground with the people, I felt like this is what I'm meant to do.
The professors have all this experience behind them and they're here waiting to share that with you.
Come to UH Manoa's College of Social Sciences. It's an awesome opportunity. See you there!
Welcome back to UHMTV. Local farmers are asking the public to buy more local products, especially during this pandemic.
As Christian Navarro reports, the initiative will help sustain the local economy while keeping more dollars in Hawaii.
Nearly 90% of Hawaii's food is imported, which makes our state especially vulnerable to natural disasters and shipping disruptions. That's why local businesses like Whole Farms are working hard to stay sustainable.
Consuming locally is important because, especially right now with the pandemic and you have all these shipping problems, there's not enough boats or not enough containers. And if we don't support local, one day it just could be all gone.
According to Hawaii's Department of Agriculture, simply increasing 10% of the local food production would help boost Hawaii's economy by $300 million. The motto, "Buy Local, It Matters," has now become a popular marketing campaign to promote the benefits of supporting local farms. Family-owned business Whole Farms have been growing vegetables for the last 18 years. The whole family was growing tomatoes way before the phrase "buy local" became trendy.
My dad was growing tomatoes and he just couldn't sell it. Like, nobody would buy it,
Now you can find their brand at most major supermarkets, including Whole Foods, Foodland, and Kokua Market.
We are just trying to focus on our core business and do that really well. We are expanding into doing more direct-to-consumer sales, maybe doing a farm store, doing more seasonal activities on the farm.
Agriculture officials say it does matter to buy local. In the future, they hope to increase the value of products made in Hawaii by advocating for better branding and labeling laws. For UHMTV, I'm Christian Navarro.
All students living in dorms are required to purchase an on-campus meal plan.
But as Victoria Budiono explains, not everyone is happy with their dining options.
Dining and dorming on campus is a one-package deal. That means residents are required to pay for a meal plan whether they like it or not. Some students actually enjoy campus meals, which is catered by Sodexo, an established company serving more than 1,000 schools and universities around the world. Do you like the food on campus?
I do, yes.
For the most part, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Hale Aloha Cafe, located in the center of the 4 Hale Aloha dorm towers, is the largest kitchen and dining room on campus, serving about 1,500 customers every day.
Obviously, if you live in the dorms, you have to get a dining plan, and so I've heard just people complain about it.
Do you like the food that they provide on campus?
No, I don't.
No.
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 No. They always have the same stuff, so there's not a lot of variety.
There's always like chicken. Yeah, all I remember is chicken. And then for dinner, the same. It's always chicken. Maybe because like we have a lot of chickens in our campus.
At least 30% of campus dining is sourced locally, but the pandemic has made it difficult to find certain ingredients.
We're struggling. When we order, we a lot of times hope that we can get our produce. We're challenged in all areas, the produce, the meats. We make changes as best we can based on what we have on hand immediately. We really request students to just give us feedback, give us specific feedback. Students are busy, they're trying to study, and that's what they're here for. So we are here to provide some kind of food service for them.
Sodexo officials say student feedback is crucial to ensure a great dining experience for all. To send suggestions, visit the Manoa Dining Services website. For UHMTV, I'm Victoria Budiono.
Where else can the students eat on campus?
There are many other on-campus dining options, but they are considered separate from their meal plans. Students may have to pay extra.
When we return, find out why geotagging these famous hotspots is causing some controversy among locals.
And what tourists can do to show aloha to the Aina. Plus, a special talk story session with an award-winning TV producer and proud UH alum, Stephanie Cook.
Stay with us on UHMTV. Welcome back to UHMTV. Every semester, we like to honor our distinguished alumni. Recently, award-winning journalist Stephanie Cook visited our class as professor for a day.
Krista Rados has more on this proud UH alum.
Emmy Award-winning TV exec Stephanie Cook has worn many hats throughout her career, including a graduation cap from UH Manoa. When she earned her English degree in 1994, she had no idea it would lead her to high-powered jobs in broadcast news.
I wasn't actually even thinking media when I was majoring in English, creative writing emphasis. I really thought I was going to be the next Maya Angelou. I wanted to write poetry and be that poet. Maya had actually spoken at UH in the amphitheater, and I went to see her there when I was a student, and it just was so life affirming. I just was like, I just want to do that. I want to move people with words. I had no idea, ever thought, not a fleeting thought, that I would go into television.
During the events of 9/11, she was in charge of producing the crawling ticker at the bottom of every newscast.
If you watch any news from 9/11, any clips from back when 9/11 was happening, and you see the crawl running under CNN, on CNN's coverage of, that's what I did on 9/11. It was one of those crazy positions that I can't believe I found myself in, and it was the hardest thing for me. Do I want to stay in news after that? It was really kind of crazy. I mean, honestly, it sounds really hokey, but it felt like my duty. I needed to tell the stories of these people and get the information out there, and I was one of the many people that did that at CNN on that day.
After covering a series of tragic news, Cook decided to shift into entertainment TV. She covered red carpet events and community features and is now the executive producer of the popular Hampton Roadshow in Virginia.
I'm so honored to work on it, actually. I was able to pick the paint color, design the set, hire the talent, everything.
Cook believes her time at UH helped prepare her to become the storyteller she is today.
I miss UH so much. It's been a long time. It's been 25 years since I've been to Hawaii, and I miss it so much. I marched in the marching band and, was really all in on everything.
Cook also enjoys mentoring young journalists and has this advice for future graduates.
My favorite thing about my job is that we are able to affect the community, and I think as journalism students, I hope that's one thing that you will take away from UH and go into the world with a career. To be able to affect your community in a positive way is really important.
For UHMTV, I'm Krista Rados.
Tourists who come to Hawaii get to enjoy all the benefits of the islands, but may not always have the chance to give back to the local community.
Now a UH alum is offering tourists the opportunity to make positive change while visiting Hawaii. Hawaii's tourism industry rakes in billions of dollars for the state's economy, but the effects of overcrowding are taking a toll on the Aina. During the 2020 pandemic lockdown, many natural landmarks like Hanauma Bay were given a much-needed break, clearing the waters in the bay by 30%, restoring coral reefs, and bringing back marine life. Now that tourism is coming back, Travel to Change, a locally funded program, hopes to continue that trend of healing the environment rather than hurting it.
It's a sociological shift that the tourists are asking for this, and it's a benefit to the local community.
Activities include fish pond restoration, beach cleanups, canoe paddling, and even visiting a local chocolate factory.
And we really do consider culture and sense of place in everything that we do here, from our packaging to the way we communicate about our product to working with new spaces to see trees planted. We use a lot of Hawaiian words in our packaging design. It's something that's ever present here at the shop.
Travel to Change has recently become part of the Malama Hawaii program, a statewide program encouraging visitors to leave Hawaii better than they found it.
The Big Island, they've been planting trees with guests' names on it for years. And then there's a place called on Kauai called the Cliffs. It's a resort, Cliffs. And what they have is they have buckets for tourists to take. They would give the bucket and the tourists would walk on the beach and pick up the plastics on these beaches and just fill it up. And they were doing this to give back, not to get extra points, for the beauty of the beach.
To sign up or register for volunteer activities, visit the Travel to Change website. For UHMTV, I'm Georgia Claire Johnson-King.
With the increase in tourism expected for the holiday season, local residents are worried some famous landmarks will become overcrowded.
As Erin Fujitani reports, some have been using social media to keep their favourite hotspots a secret.
Geotagging is a way to share your location on social media. But some local content creators are posting wrong geotags to mislead tourists.
I don't dislike tourists, or I don't try to tell tourists not to come here, but the part that I don't like is them coming here during a pandemic. So that's where my little skits came of kind of keeping tourists away.
Burden feels justified in gatekeeping, saying tourists already take over once private beaches like China Walls in Portlock and Sandy's in East Oahu.
I would like to keep the spots I've been going through my childhood as private as possible and not for it to get overcrowded, because with overcrowding comes trash and vandalism and all stuff like that.
I do have a lot of tourists come up and be like, oh, I know this is here, but where is it, you know? So I definitely feel that they have that entitlement almost. They say oh, Hawaii, it depends on us, they need us.
For instance, social media trends show local residents posting the Alawai Canal as a spectacular scenic site.
But in reality, this is the Alawai Canal, which carries a local stigma of being a toxic waterway filled with sewage and trash.
Some Native Hawaiians are also concerned that overuse of sacred lands could cause more damage to the environment. State officials are encouraging locals to report any obvious misuses of Hawaii's natural treasures. For UHMTV, I'm Erin Fujitani.
When we come back, we'll check out an outdoor classroom at the beach.
And roller skating makes a comeback. Welcome back to UHMTV. Not many people would associate surfing with science, but one UH anthropology professor believes it is an important field of study.
As Ethan Young tells us, students can now surf for college credit. This may not look like your typical classroom, but it is, at least for some UH students. Ian Masterson, aka Surf Professor, teaches an anthropology class that studies human culture, and in this case, the Surfing Society. Student surfers are even getting college credit.
Why not create something here? Anthropology seemed like the right thing because I had to ask myself, what is it like to look at life through the eyes of a surfer? When you experience culture, when you immerse yourself in it, which is an anthropology trait, they would go there, but how to go be a participant and observe and observe not only what's going on among others, but ourselves.
Anthropology 175 helps students learn about the history of surfing, how to behave before, during, and after catching a wave, and who gets the top position in the surf lineup.
Surf sessions out on the ocean seemed to be going well until COVID-19 struck like a rogue wave, canceling all in-person classes for the remainder of the pandemic.
The spring 2020 course was forced to go virtual, and many were disappointed that they had to literally surf online.
I would have had a much greater experience and would have pulled a lot more from Ian himself, being there in his presence, also having my classmates around me.
Masterson's class is sure to make a splash when it returns to UH Manoa come spring 2022.
It's a go. Come join us, come surf, and get credit for it.
For UHMTV, I'm Ethan Young. Ethan, do you have to know how to surf to take this class?
No, not at all. As long as you know how to swim, everyone's welcome to join.
Thanks, Ethan. From surfing to skating, many college students are finding new outlets to release their stress.
And as Lindsay Dower tells us, roller skating is making a surge during this pandemic.
Roller skating is making a big comeback during this pandemic. Social media searches for keywords roller skates have quadrupled in 2020 according to Google Trends. And roller skate sales have skyrocketed tenfold according to the popular brand Moxie Skates. Here in Hawaii, the sport is visibly popular, with many having to skate in the streets and in parking lots, since roller skating is banned at most public parks. Anyone caught violating these rules would be subject to a $500 fine or up to 30 days in prison.
It's challenging right now because of the fact that sooner or later, I'm hoping not, but we might be prohibited skating at tennis courts, basketball courts, wherever that blue sign says at parks that there is no roller skating allowed.
Public hockey rinks are the typical destination for flat ground skaters. But like this rink in Camilo Iki, all of the island's public rinks are closed. Mililani is also closed for renovations, and the one in Kapolei has been closed to the public because of COVID.
So as far as places for us to just roller skate, just for fun and flat ground, there's not really much options out there.
City Parks and Rec officials are not sure when they plan to reopen the roller rinks. But in the meantime, skaters will just have to roll with what they've got. For UHMTV, I'm Lindsay Dower.
Thank you, Lindsay, and thank you for joining us for the 25th edition of UHMTV. Mahalo for watching. I'm Charleston Cazimero.
And I'm Georgia Claire Johnson-King. Until next time, malama pono and aloha.